it doesn't necessarily sit well with the image of the laid-back, leisure-focused, beach-bound Queenslanders. But I have seen this pattern elsewhere in the development of the state and always in my own observations of this university. I know that many of the fiercest debates in this Senate have centred on these questions of whether to embrace a new field of study or research. And once again, when I go through these debates, I can discern the familiar pattern. New ideas or conceptions for specialisation are put forward, fiercely debated. The weaker proposals fall by the wayside, and those which survive the furnace of argument seem to yield with almost inevitable precision remarkable results within a very short period of time. Another thread or intertwining of the university's story and the story of the state over the past 100 years, and it's been referred to by the Premier, by the Chancellor and the Vice-Chancellor. It is the most obvious through the annual production. It is a production in every sense of the word, of graduates, many of them linear descendants of each other, as in my family and in innumerable other Queensland families. The university has created a deep and abiding constituency for higher education in our state. I read avidly what's going on at the university, and I was very interested in a statement that the Vice-Chancellor made only a little while ago on the 4th of December, in which he observed, I thought, something very interesting. The point that UQ has touched the lives of many people who have perhaps never thought about the university. He mentioned girls and women who have received the anti-cervical cancer vaccine, families that have benefited from the practical advice of the Triple P positive parenting program, patients who've been treated by those UQ-trained health professionals, and readers who have enjoyed the work of a UQ-educated writer like Val Vallis that you so obviously enjoy, Premier, and that you shared with everyone today at the Cathedral. As powerful that is, those comments by the Vice-Chancellor, as a shorthand statement of the influence of the university and its currency for those who may never cross its threshold, equally powerful is the annual growth in sheer numbers of a constituency supportive of this institution and of tertiary education more generally, and which also, and I think it's important to think about this, monitors closely and carefully developments at the university and judges with an eye that can be as critical as it can be fond the decisions of the university's Senate and of its executive. So, for the incoming senators, you will be watched. If there's one signal fact that I would hold up to the Jubilee founders of the way in which their university has changed, has transformed the makeup of Queensland society, in its trailblazing of change in making a pool of wonderful intellectuals in our state, the way it has changed Queensland economically, socially and culturally, it would be the decision, or more correctly, the series of the line of decisions to become an international university. The economic contribution of international students is certainly profound, but the social and cultural effects are at least as important to the future of this state. In Queensland, distinct, I believe, from elsewhere in the Federation. You learn more here, sometimes, from listening to the silence than to the ambient noise of our media-saturated society. And the profound silence that I observed in this state during the recent period of economic uncertainty, when nary a voice was raised in favour of increased protectionism or trade barriers, spoke eloquently to me of the extent to which Queensland has become truly and deeply an outwardly focused society at ease with international engagement, comfortably engaged in a knowledge-based economy. Within an astonishingly short period of time, this has become an entrenched norm of Queensland society, and the drawing in of students from all over the world to the state, along with the cream of researchers from across the globe, has played a key role in this cultural transformation, as has the decisions to build a network of contacts and connections between the University of Queensland and so many other countries and prestigious organisations in other countries. The litany of benefits that have flowed from the Queensland to the Queensland community from the university, from the straightforward appearance of well-trained doctors in general practices around the state, with the familiar livery on their framed graduation certificates. It's really interesting to see them up on the walls, and all the other highly trained professionals required by a sophisticated and modern society, to the cutting-edge technological developments, to the thoughts and the insights of UQ-trained journalists and writers, to the filtering down of discoveries about marine science to this ocean and coastal loving community. All these things have played a role in cementing this institution firmly in the community it serves, faithful to the essence of the vision of a practical and progressive university distinct from the Oxbridge tradition, but likewise bound to the pursuit of intellectual rigour and, that word of which I'm very fond, excellence. It's an absolute cliche that anniversaries offer time to reflect, and it's even perhaps more cliched when one is speaking to the University Senate, for whom planning for the ongoing health of the institution is core business. Nevertheless, I do believe that by reflecting on the interactions, the interweaving, the interleaving of the first 100 years of the University of Queensland with the latter 2/3 of the life of the state, and I hope we'll be doing that all through the coming year, will yield an even richer understanding about the challenges of the future. The university must remain engaged with the problems and the challenges facing the Queensland community, and as an internationally engaged community, it is likewise true that most of the problems of the world are also, one way or another, the problems of Queensland. I look forward greatly to the centenary celebrations, and I thank the members of the University of Queensland Senate, past and present, for their role in steering this critically important institution through the challenges of the past 100 years. I hope that the Senate will continue to attract individuals of your calibre and your commitment, your dedication, your passion for education and for the university, to ensure that the next 100 years are as successful, both for the university and for the state it serves so proudly and so well. Thank you.